She's also a producer, event curator, and the founder of a number of female-focused DJ initiatives such as Girls Brunch and Femme Vibes. She's worked with brands like Spotify, Off-White, and TikTok, and was named as part of 17 women shaping electronic and African dance music in Africa by Mix Magazine. And last but not least, we have Ailey DJ. He's a music artist, he's a DJ, he's a curator. He won the YFM Campus DJ Search in 2014 and was a DJ for YFM for almost 10 years. He DJed for Stoneboy on a campus tour and also NSG. He's also DJed at Afro Future. You may have seen him at like Belaroma, Luna, Soho, Twist, Front Back, Got Seven. Basically, if you've been out in a car, you probably heard him play. He also has a movement called YKTFB, putting on music experience since 2022. They had an event recently at Beer Garden, when it was really good. I missed out on it, unfortunately. So we're going to start at the beginning of your careers because that's often the most difficult place. So if you can talk to us about what the beginning of your careers look like.
Hi guys, my name is Shim. Um, I'm a creative director generally, and an artist. I paint, creative direction for brands, like she's already mentioned. Um, Starting off as a creative director, honestly, I don't think when I was starting, there's like about 6, 7 years ago, I don't think there was stuff like that. Like it wasn't a thing, and I had finished school fresh. I finished national service, and I wasn't gonna be retained anyways, 9 to 5. But um, I actually collaborated with a friend of mine, Franklin Chan is a photographer, and were just creating art, like pictures, editorial shots. I just come up with a concept, and then we'd execute it together and stuff like that. And funny thing is, we were very consistent with our social media. We're just posting here and there on Twitter or like Instagram, um, Snapchat, wherever, and it got people's attention on what we're doing. I was already tech as for my fine art project with me, you know, from Motown. I was already doing stuff like that. So coming into the real world and doing this something that I truly truly love, it was it wasn't bed of roses, but I'd say with being consistent, being consistent is one of the things that actually brought people's attention to. I can't remember, our first job was for a microfinance company, and we're supposed to create stock images for them. It was my first job, and I was very excited about it, but it didn't really go as planned. And I charged really, really, really low. Like I was excited, so like, oh no, I just want to do it. So anything you're gonna give me. And I did. It didn't really, but I was like, no, we'll still do stuff. So I was still working with my friend Franklin, doing the whole creative direction thing. He would do the photography part, a makeup artist friend as well, who would like people here and there together to execute this thing. And mind you, down the line, right, these are the same people I still work with. Because you started with them and you need to grow with them. You cannot leave them behind unless they want to be left behind. Because you can't force someone to be successful to get it. So for me, 5 years being working in this industry has helped me to it's helped me to be very loyal as well and extremely hardworking because here in Ghana we don't have certain resources available to ready available to us. So you need to work extra hard to achieve some things. You know, um, for instance, like um, working on I come up with concepts for brands, right? And let's even use an example as like a DJ, and then the DJ wants to have a photo shoot for like his his or her like EP or something. I need to come like he's gonna tell me what right or what they want to achieve like visually. So now I need to think if I'm gonna use if probably they want to have a moon created. What material are you going to use? Like what are you going to use? Because contract. First of all, we're going to have trouble with artists.
Okay. Yeah, but my name is Ballad DJ. September, I was in University of Ghana, and I was just playing around with the on my. I got okay. He would teach me how to DJ. Practicing in our room. Did it for a while. The competition AD won. I was as well, and being in that competition gave me the chance to meet certain people who I'll call key industry players at that time. So you had Jay Foley, you had Giovanni, you had Jerry. Meeting all these people kind of brought the idea that okay, I wanted to be a DJ closer because it looked a bit abstract in the beginning. Because when I started DJing, I knew only DJ Kes and DJ MJ as the only women DJs, and even though they were doing it, there still wasn't like so much visibility on women DJs. So then there was myself. Then we had other ones, Miss Austin, DJ Nice, DJ Tipsy, and everyone kept doing their thing, doing their thing, doing their thing. And then 10 years down the line, now there are a lot of women DJs. Like Annabelle was saying, the first iMula sound system was made up of only women DJs. And I was part of that one as well. So we literally are like the first class of iMula sound system. And I'm happy 10 years down the line, there are more women from just DJ Cares. And more women are learning. So then it's more women. And it's only up from here. Yeah.
Yeah, so my name is ADBJ. I go by Love of the House, People's Champ, and quite a few of you know. Yeah, like she said, I also started in uni. Well, me, with mine, um, let's say high school, I was in and around music. So I should have become like a producer more than a DJ because I was putting together songs for my friends who had a dance group to dance with. So we call it acid back in school. So I used to do the acid for them to dance with it the whole time. But one time I was home, my cousin came from tech and he brought the software to the house, the DJ software. And he was doing cool with it. And I was trying to install it into my laptop, and he was like, I can't do a better mix than you has done. And if you know me very well, I'm not the type to get. So I was like, oh really? Okay, cool. Then I did it. But he left for school, but after the first time, I was like, nah, I'm enjoying this. I kept on doing it. And we reopened school, I took it to school. Before I realized, it started getting attention. Now, like all parties, birthdays, room parties, they started calling me. I didn't really like take it professionally from that time until the YFM thing came about. And I was like, cool. And glad to say like the person that even mentioned it to me is somebody I'm still working with to date. So it's like, yo, you go try this thing out, and yeah, from there it's been what it is. But it's not always smooth when you're doing it, and I had to juggle it with school. And trust me, it got professional real quick for me. Because after I won the competition, as part of winning the competition, I was the DJ for the show every Saturday, 12 to 3. And 6 months into that, I started playing at the Laroma, started playing the clubs, flowing DJs around, and doing all these things, have seen it as a passion, and still having to learn and make your grades. And parents, very strict on making your grades. If you are going down, they are trying to find out what are you doing in school that you're not making your grades, because they feel like you are smart. So why are you dropping your grades? So yeah, it's not been easy. Trust me, there's been so many challenges, personal to external to everything. But I think the most important thing I have like stuck with is pushing forward and never stopping. Trust me, I've achieved so much that I keep forgetting. Anytime you ask me about what I've done before, I'll forget. And somebody will now prompt me, tell you forget say you do this. I'm like, oh yeah, true, I guess. You just have to keep going. I'm always about what I can achieve next than what I've achieved before. So I just keep going. And I think that's one of the things that's like brought me here or this far.
Thanks, guys. So platforms like IMLA are providing opportunities for DJs to start their career, to learn skills, to improve on existing ones, and to play in front of hundreds, maybe even thousands of people. Would you say it's easier now to start a career as a DJ than it was back then?
Yeah.
What are the main things that you think of? Like, what opportunities were there back then?
Yeah, it is. It's really easy. It's because aside from Mula too, there is Where Are the Women, where we teach people how to DJ with Tanya DJ on Oroco Radio. And one of my main problems when I started DJing was access to certain things like these. So shout out to DJ Pizarro. He's one person I've maintained like a long relationship with him because he was the one person that I kept going to consistently to ask questions, be it hardware, software, and he was always there to like answer. And I was like, why does it have to be difficult for you to find someone? Because up until I met Pizarro, I didn't have anyone doing that for me. You can check online, all right, but sometimes it makes sense when you already have someone who has done it or someone who has like a lot of knowledge about what you are doing help you out. So now I know it's it's very, very easy actually. Like every other day we are seeing new DJs come up, be it following other DJs to shadow them, be it joining a pop-up school or anything. It's really easy, and I feel like it's a very like commendable effort because then it wasn't even easy. It wasn't even about being a woman DJ or anything. Generally, as DJs, it wasn't easy. So to have platforms like iMula and all the other ones that give you the chance to nurture your dreams as a DJ, I think it's a very commendable initiative.
Okay, so I think the whole DJ scene or the industry took a different turn after COVID.
COVID, yeah.
So after COVID, like during COVID, a lot of people became DJs because we had a lot of time on our hands. And I think even looking at female DJing, it was also like a spark for it. Like it was when we found Uncle Waffles, we found so many other DJs coming on board. And like they learned during the time, and after COVID, it became like very commercial for most of them. I'll say it's very easy now. It's the best time now, especially if you're female. I've been saying this all around. I've been wanting to teach like female DJs personally. It's the best time now to do it because now it's moved past the skill itself into a more marketable avenue. So it's really like, trust me, back then, it's who can be the most technical about the equipment, who can set it up, who can do a certain skill with the equipment that they're playing with, what type of equipment they're playing with. But now it's moved from that. I think technology too has come in, and it's moved from that, and it's moved into like a more vibrant money-making avenue. So now the marketing bit of it is being highlighted. Now I always say that DJing now is more like 40% of skill and 60% of what you can put out. So I think it's very easy now to start than it used to be before. Even now, I think there's been more respect to the craft than it used to be, because now people understand it. Like 2 days or 3 days ago, I was in SSC as a panelist for a discussion, and somebody asked a question, but I understood, or I knew where she was coming from. She asked if we are still going to DJ like for a long time or like our whole lives. And I was like, the misconception where people think it's not sustainable is very wrong. It's trust me, there are DJs that are making 66 million in a year. So why would you think it's not sustainable? Because they think it's like a youthful thing where you are past your 30s, 40s, and you have to stop. No. Now it's become a very money-making avenue, and I think it's the best time to actually go into it.
Speaking of sustainability, I think the reason why DJs like yourself have done well, and even you choose to create it, is because you have quite a strong personal brand. Even if you don't know what you do, you can there is something. Would you say DJs today are taking personal branding seriously? Do you think they understand the benefits that it can have to making money, to connecting with their audience? And second question, what are some things that you guys have done personally to build a strong personal brand?
Personally, I've maintained like this consistency when it comes to delivering. And if somebody sees my name on a flyer, they instantly feel or know that, oh, it's going to be better. So it's been like back to back doors that propelled that, or like that drove to that. That's something that I can see myself.
So consistency.
Yeah. And your first question again.
Do you think DJs today are taking personal branding seriously?
It's moved from just being technical with the machines into a very marketable avenue. So what you put out, the look and everything constitutes the money you could make. Trust me, if you command, somebody can command 10K, anything. But knowing that this person is coming, you are thinking about the budget for the person. Before you start, how long you're going to play for and what are their rates. You get me? So it goes deep into what the DJ like comes together as. It's not only talent, it's what you can put out, your looks, branding, everything.
So I'm just gonna touch on like looks, or like the fashion aspect of or a brand. I feel like there are so many people doing what DJs and other things, but how can they identify you from the lot? Okay, so yeah, I was saying what actually identifies you from the lot, because everybody's doing the same thing, but how you look sometimes or most of the time can actually influence success for you, or even you being identified in the chaos. You know, look at like everybody knows. Yes, this is an typical like a physical example of like branding. You know, when they mention her name, you know she's gonna come with this. If there's a themed party, let's say we're doing futuristic, right? She's definitely gonna change this thing to something futuristic. She's also like blending into the theme of your event. Do you get my point? Uncle Waffles also has a way of dressing as well. You know, let's even use Tyler. Tyler has this cute Y2K kind of dressing, but you know, adds a bit more Western vibes to it. You know, so branding, I feel like, is something that DJs need to also like factor. You can have the talent, right? But somebody's not even looking at the because some people actually come there for vibes. You can play shitty music, but people are actually there to just look at you. You can influence people too by how you look. Oh, I want to do my hair like how he's done his hair. Or that she has ginger hair. I want to have that as well. These are little things are factors that you need to also consider when you're like branding yourself. Your looks, how your hair, your clothing, just put an extra foot, like put your foot in it. That way you get other brands also like approaching you. You can be a very good DJ, you can play the best music, you can have the best transitions, but trust me, your brands also look at that thing a lot, because I work with them and be like, oh, can we see his Instagram? They go there and then they just see your machines and they see you wearing a black t-shirt and then shorts and then sneakers. I'm like, oh, okay, cool, he looks all right. But imagine wearing something like he's wearing the dungarees, wearing the bucket, something that is gonna like catch their eye. That way we're like, okay, cool, this person is someone we'd like to work with because he actually has a fashion sense. He's also good at what he does. So I feel like these are some of the things you need to consider when you're like putting yourself out there as a DJ. Thank you.
People who might argue with that, who say, you should focus on my craft, like not on the way I look or the way I dress, like what would you say to them?
Definitely need to focus on the craft, but the looks also count. You can't look anyhow for what you're doing. Do you understand? Like, first of all, being a creative already is always it's a tough sport here in Ghana. You can't look anyhow for the job. Do you get my point? Like, at least, for instance, like you're going for like a and brands actually pick just anybody who has like influence to do certain things for them, ambassadors and stuff like that, and they come to you. Probably don't have the numbers, but you have the looks, you have what it takes. Obviously they're going to take you. You might have the numbers, you might not have the influence. So how are they going to pick, like how are they going to take you, and also like arguing on the fact that yes, your craft can be good, right, but you need to look the part. So I don't think it's something that's really, really debatable like that, but you just need to look the part. That's baseline. Yeah.
Let me add to that. So, your talent cannot keep you forever. It won't keep you. You won't have a lifetime career with your talent only. To be very honest, I was having this conversation yesterday. You need to be a part of the culture. When it changes, you need to change. Your skill will forever be your skill, but it's the culture that's consuming your skill. So when it changes, you need to change towards it. Your skill alone, trust me, it's not going to. So you would have your audience, but you will not be on the top of their minds or anybody's mind that's booking you forever. At a point, they will be looking at other people and they'll forget the fact that you are the guy with the best talent, and they'll bring in somebody that's trendy, somebody that's vibrant, somebody that's moving with what the culture is. Even understanding how to like appear for an event even counts. Do you get me? Like with Max, she has like a different Max for every type of event. If it's colorful, yes. If it's nude, it's white, it's this. Whatever the event is or the theme is, she's going to appear in the Max with that addresses that event. So those things also count. Your talent, trust me, that I always say this, everybody has the talent. Everybody has the talent. But there has to be a marketable part of it that will keep you in the minds of your clients.
No, I'm good. You guys are saying this.
So another thing too is like what he's also saying, right? You need to be identified, because let's use some of the celebrities we're having here in Ghana, like as an example. I think some time back they had this silhouette of each and every one of them on Twitter, like just a silhouette of them. When you see it, you know it's Sarkodie, isn't it? When you see Manifest on his hat, you know he's the one. So if you need to be able to be seen, like I said before, in the midst of chaos. I'm using silhouettes because not everybody can have a silhouette, but how do they identify that it's you when you get to the top? Because you can look like any other person. Do you get my point? But there's something about you that everybody's gonna say, oh no, isn't this guy? And this thing was also all like a whole silhouette thing. Even Beyonce has a silhouette of her standing, right? They even used it for the Super Bowl, right? You saw it and everybody know, oh, this is Beyonce. Rihanna came with the whole branding in Eras. as a DJ, you can also do your own era. Listen, just need to play around. Like he's saying, you need to get into the culture, or else you're not going to be relevant in people's heads. Uncle Waffles dances. She stops DJing and she will dance. She'll dance her ass off, right, in front of everybody, and then everybody enjoys that aspect of her as well. You might not be the best dancer, but you need to find something that is going to like let people like have you in their minds, So being identified amongst a lot of people or amongst your peers is very key in your craft. Thanks.
So as these guys have mentioned, your mask is very distinctive. Have there ever been times you've questioned, like, should I have done this or should I do something else?
In regards to wearing the mask?
Yeah.
No, I haven't regretted it yet, but yeah, sometimes I do regret it. Because I always say that the main reason I started wearing the mask was to stay or get away from people. But now the same mask is what's bringing so many people. So yeah, most of the times I'm like in the middle, but I think I've gotten to a place where I have to ride it out. I don't think I've even regretted it. I like it. I like it for me. Just that it doesn't serve its purpose anymore. But artistically, yeah, it does. But the main reason why I started doing it wasn't. But yeah, I think it's been a good ride so far.
Can we ask some questions as well?
Yeah, we'll ask some questions at the end. So I would say a lot of spaces in Accra like to work with the same DJs, either out of convenience or loyalty, or because they don't want to pay a different price. They want to keep paying the same price, What steps would you say you guys have taken to demonstrate the value and the unique experience that you guys bring to a landscape where, familiarity is often quite important?
Okay, like Eddie was saying, sometimes it's not just about the talent, it's every other thing and the talent. And also, you can be different. So let's say if I know Eddie DJ can play electronic music, he can play house music. But when I see Eddie's name on the flyer, I know I'm not going to listen to house music. I'm going because I know he'll give me the best maybe UK rap, Afro beats that I've ever heard in the city. Same way when he sees my name, he knows, okay, I'm either going to get electronic on my piano, deep house, because it's Michi. It doesn't mean I play Afrobeat. I listen to Afrobeat a lot, but that's not what I play a lot. So you see, you are booking me because, okay, this person is going to do this for me, and this person is going to do that for me. And I think one thing most people also overlook is how to leverage and use the resources around you, especially the human part. I like how should I even put it? One of the reasons why I always tell people that I love front back, not because I play at front back. I love front back because whoever or the people in charge of front back make me feel like whatever I'm doing is appreciated.
Yeah.
It's a hand come situation with them. So I know I can do everything for them, and I know they can also do everything for me. But it's not every other venue I'm going to get that from. But I've been able to put myself in a place where I know what front back gets from me, and I also know what I get from front back. And that's one thing I think most people overlook. They think, okay, this person has booked me for a gig. Let me go and play the gig, then pick my bag and go home. I'm not saying when you wake up, call the person, hello, how are you doing? No. But then there's the way you go about it that whenever the person wants to book a DJ, you are the first person they think of. People come to me sometimes and they're like, oh, Michi, I have this gig. It's not the kind of gig you will play, but can you recommend a DJ that can play that? So it's just how you want to negotiate, and then you should make yourself, I don't say useful, but like, it's not just playing the music and going back home. There are things that you need to do to sustain the brand generally.
What I'll say is, most often we forget that we are service providers, and as a service provider, you need to be at the suffering end of most things. So most often, people want to work with people, or like brands like to work with people that make their work easy for them, right? So if you want to be sophisticated and be like, oh, me, I'm the best DJ in Accra, you have to come and lick my feet before I come. It doesn't work like that. Some of us, we are doing it very big, but we stay humble and be like very approachable. Bro, Eddie, yo, last minute, can you come in? I'm like, yeah. When I'm going to come and do it, when I'm done, I'm just going to be like, bro, please, next time, let's try and get it done earlier, or let's get a booking done earlier. So it's just about how you relate to the people who are booking you. I've always been told this, that Eddie, like there's certain times that people, say, take a piss. And I'm talking to one of my agents, and I'm like, yo, Charlie, can you imagine this guy do? He just shut up for me to finish. When he's done, when I'm done, he's like, yo, you're providing a service. Understand? They can take a piss. You need them to come get your service, so they can take a piss. Let them take a piss. But at the end of the day, when you get there, you deliver. You let them understand that, yo, this is what you do and you're doing it well, and they have to also come to and do it well. So it's been like that. And what can I say? You're providing a service, so trust me, it has to be whatever, like, the people can work with. If you make yourself difficult to work with,
Yeah.
or if you make it, trust me, there's been times where people have not booked DJs again because they had a very bad experience with them. And we have this very bad culture here where when somebody feels like they're paying you, they feel like they can just order you around. So they do that. But you have to find a way to let them also understand that, yo, I know my value, I have a value, and I know it, and you have to stick with it. But the approach to that is what differentiates whether they're going to book you or not, or keep booking you or not.
So since you've been speaking about pay and providing a service, I want to talk about that a little bit because, so there are some people here who are starting their careers and they need to eat. Like, we're not doing this for fun. I remember this one guy who came from the UK to Ghana to start his career as a DJ here. He'd been DJing in England, and he played at this club, and at the end, when he asked who was leaving, he wanted to get paid. They gave him some bottles, and not like Hennessy or Ciroc, like even that one, whatever. They're just like some cheap bottles of alcohol as payment. And like he hadn't I guess arranged anything with them before. He just assumed that, I'm going to get paid when I say I get paid. And Shim, you mentioned, when you started, you were willing to work for free and or a limited amount of money. But, sometimes that's fine at the beginning. Like working for free, it's not always a bad idea. But how do you make sure you're being paid what you deserve? How do you have those conversations? How do you make sure I'm going to get paid for what I'm delivering because I'm doing something good?
So, I'd say first of all, you need to be clear about how much you're charging. Let there be an agreement. If you have a contract that you need to sign with them, you need to sign that contract that this the amount you're charging, and then you're taking X percentage, first. That way it's written. After the job, you take the rest of your money. It's easier that way than sometimes word of mouth. It's not everybody who's who goes according to their word, so they might swindle you. So you need to be very, very, very tactical about how you're dealing, especially here in this climate. So you need to be very, very, very wise and very clear with your dealing with your client. Tell them this is the amount I'm charging, and I'm sure pretty much they're gonna beat you down. But if you know your worth, you need to stand your ground and say this is the amount I'm charging, and then nothing with it. Because one thing that people do is, he got you for X amount of money. Oh, he's gonna tell his friend, oh, this guy's cheap, I can get him for you. And then it goes that way. Then everybody's just devaluing you as an artist or as an individual. So once you stick to your word or your pricing, I feel like that way people are going to respect that. I mean, you might not get it in the beginning, but at the end of the day, the people who actually respect your craft are going to come to you. The people who can pay will definitely gravitate towards you. So it's not a rush. I mean, in the beginning, you need to pay your dues.
Mm-hmm.
You can't just get up and start charging some amount of money when your work is not up to that standard. So definitely in the beginnings, you need to pay your dues here and there. But at a point in your life and your career, it's going to get to a point where you mention an amount, and you don't even have to even mention. They know in the back of their heads that this guy or this lady I'm gonna book is expensive, and that also boils down to branding. Because when you brand yourself well, then they know, oh, this guy, this is what I'm gonna spend. If I'm gonna spend X amount of money, and I know that's what you're gonna take, So it's basically about contracts and how you communicate and how you're gonna communicating with them how much you're charging and all that kind of thing. So I don't think it's anything. It's not rocket science like that. Yeah. You want to say something?
I don't think so. When it comes to rates in Accra, it's a very interesting conversation, especially for DJs, because I don't know why people feel like, even like till now, I mean, 10 years after, I still have people come up to me and say, oh, there's no budget, but can you do it? Have you seen the Kufu this Accra? Like, even if I want to do it for you, like, I think people think you are DJing because you have nothing to do, or it's just for fun. Like, when they look at you, they think you do not have bills. You are just there. Right? Even if you're not driving and you're picking Uber, you can pick Uber for like 50 CDs, 60 CDs, just to go and do a gig, and then you're telling me that, oh, there is no budget. Even just last month, a new cloud arts opening. You've been able to do everything, open the cloud, and you said you don't have a budget. I'm like, if you don't have a budget, then cool. Whenever you have a budget, we can work. He was like, oh no, I can offer you this, and I can add a bottle of wine. I'm like, like, we're talking about money. I can't go outside. I can't go and offer someone a bottle of wine and say, oh, I'm buying food with a bottle of wine. So what makes you think you can give me a bottle of wine for my services? But yeah, I think it also depends, like we were saying, how you branded yourself, and also whatever you are giving them. Because I can pay you so much, but you can come and you still won't deliver. So everyone looks at what they are getting in returns. I think that's what you have to leverage on, and then you know how to arrange your prices and stuff.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's always hard when it comes to rates and charges and all that out here. But what I'll say is, if you're starting, you need to be very solid and firm on what you are going to charge. Also, there are so many times that you have to do free, because trust me, down the line, the free that you did will come paying a lot.
Yeah.
People also look at who is willing to sacrifice for my brand or my work today, so that we can all benefit tomorrow. Half of those people will also swindle you later. There's been times that I've done free, and
Nothing
later
came out
when
of
they
it.
were big, they said, oh, we can't afford you, or they went for the next person or
Yeah.
whatever. But you need to be very smart with it. Look at what the person is offering you in returns for your service, whether they respect what you're doing, they value it. Because me, if you come to me, like, over the years, I stopped playing weddings.
Same.
Right, I do play weddings, but I
Same.
stopped playing weddings. I only play weddings if I know you personally, or you're like an old schoolmate or something, or like it's a recommendation from somebody that I know. The reason why I stopped this, they do everything about the wedding and forget the DJ. And when it's time for the DJ, they're like, oh, I just come to play music, okay. Anytime you put that statement out, or you make it look like what my services is not that important, I walk away. And over time, I just stop playing. If you oh, Eddie, there's a wedding coming up, blah blah blah, I'll tell you, oh no, I'm not interested, because I understand that you don't value the service that I'm coming to give to you. And once you don't value the service, it's just bad, because you are not going to pay me what I'm worth. Do you understand? Because you yourself, you don't even understand what I'm worth. So you need to also look at some of these things. Certain gigs are going to be recurring. Me, that's my trick. The recurring gigs, I don't charge too much, because it's going to be something that's always going to be there. The one-time gigs, you can stick to whatever your value is. But the recurring gigs, you can sometimes do free, you can sometimes come down, because these people are always going to remember you. And trust me, one thing you should do is make sure you have a contract in there. You don't necessarily have to draft a contract and sign, but like a reference. So it's not like over a phone, but in text or email or whatever, where you can refer the person to. Because trust me, when the service is done, they will come acting like, oh, they never said it. Mm-hmm. Do you get me? Oh, they never said it. And you will be on their bad end, because now you're looking like you're asking for too much or something, and now they'll be down playing, oh, but the song says you only play like 2 or 1 hour, oh, but then trying to find fault in what you've already done. So I think you should be smart with charging, and also make sure you have a reference to whatever charge, or have the agreement before time. What I will also advise is that we need to come together and like implement a system where part payment is it's a must. It's normal. Like with me now, if I ask for it, it's cool. But I'm trying to push to the point where I get full payment before I even come, because I've seen DJs that are paid huge sums of money even without them showing up, or even without before they post the flyer on their social media. Do you get me? But it's gradual. You cannot just get up and get there. You need to understand the level you are at and what you can demand. But the goal is to reach the point where they can actually pay you and they know that you are loyal enough to also show up. Some of the reasons why they don't like to pay people before time or beforehand is because some people take the money and not show up. And it's happened so many times. Weddings, like made big events and stuff, they'll take the money, they don't show up. So these clients also think about those things. But I think that if your brand is at the level where they know that they can trust you, you can be able to command that.
I would say, looking at the music and creative industry now, it seems like there are a lot more opportunities, but it's not necessarily that they're all very well paid. I've been working in the creative industry for a while now, but since I've moved to Ghana, which was 5 years ago, and I've been presented with some opportunities which may seem financially really good, but like morally, I'm just like, I don't know. Like if I go to heaven, I don't know what God's going to say if I do this. Have there ever been any commercial opportunities that you guys have come across where the money's been good and, you know, across hard, people are hungry, but you're like, either this, you know, goes against my brand or morally, I don't know if I can do this. It's a safe space. It's a safe space. Don't mention any names.
So, fortunately for me, I've never been in a space like that. It's always been the club, a birthday, wedding, corporate events, something that's already in line with what I'm doing. So there's not been a gig where I'll say it's against like a moral that I have or anything. But one time I had a challenging moment where I had to play what they call Bonyo Party. I don't know if you know. Yeah, but it was a boozy Bonyo Party. So I didn't know what it was. I was just called by one of my trusted clients.
Can you explain to the audience what that is?
It's on Sunday, right?
Yeah, it's just like it's funeral party, like
funeral
like
party.
after they done the funeral rites and everything, like the party they do, yeah. Well, so yeah, in those lines, but it was just a group of people who just wanted to have fun after the funeral because it was like a big person that died, and it brought together a lot of people that have not seen each other for a while. So it was impromptu, and they had to do it. When I got there and I realized, when I was walking to the venue, I realized everybody was in black, and I was seeing something else, and I was like, wait. I asked the guy that, what's going on? He said, oh, Charlie, they finished the funeral, but they won't do some jam, so that's why we said, I'm like, But later I was like, you know what, I can't disappoint the clients because somebody that I trust and I know for long. And trust me, that gig itself brought a lot of connects that like went for it to give me like a lot of gigs. Trust me, if I'd said I won't play or disappointed the clients, it would have gone to like my disadvantage. So yeah, aside that, I don't think I've had any moment or any time where I've had to feel some type of way about a gig.
I don't think I have one.
Yeah, I don't also think I have anything that is morally goes against my morals. It's just things that don't tally with my brand. I just reject it.
Yeah.
Or maybe you don't have time. Just respectfully say decline it. But I don't think there's anything that actually goes like, because it's work basically. Some of the works I do, maybe I don't think it's even provocative because it's fashion and it's art. So maybe in a different light they'll say it's not morally right. I don't know if I can actually say it. It's just like working with lingerie brands and stuff like that. So some people think that it's not morally right, but I feel like it's it's work, and it's a culture as well. But I don't think the Ghanaian culture actually accepts such stuff. But obviously the West would. But so I don't. For me personally, I don't think it's like a problem at all. Yeah.
I want to take. Yeah, we'll have some questions after this. I want to ask 2 more questions, and then we'll send it over to you guys to ask some questions. And the first one, I want to take it back to the beginnings of starting a career as a DJ, because as I said, that's like, it can be the hardest part, and especially in Ghana, where being a DJ, being a creative, like our parents, they're not on board with it. I think, we were having a conversation just now about the police stopping people that have dreadlocks or piercings or dress a certain way. And there's a lot of stereotypes with creatives, with DJs, that they're womanizers, that they are lazy, that they're just, doing this for fun. What advice would you give to, some of the young people or older people in the audience today who are having to navigate those conversations with their family, with their husbands, with their wives, their girlfriends about pursuing a career in this industry?
Well, for me, I'll just say the best revenge is your paper, because once you make your money, no one can tell you anything.
Yeah.
For me, I started growing my hair, or having an afro, whatever it is. I started in high school, and I was always being hunted down, my friends and I. But we did not care. We still had the hair. We went to uni. We had the hair. Teachers used to sideline me. Some of them used to give me names, iron filings and some weird names. You're not going to refer to me like they might call, hey Amma, hey this, hey iron filings. Answer the question. These are some of the things that they were doing in school. And now coming out of school, getting a job, they feel like, oh no, he's not. I quite remember when I was applying to certain jobs after service, they were like, they cannot hire me. Someone actually told me that they can't hire me because they don't allow afros in the workspace. It's like, it's a creative space as well. Like, why are you not hiring me because of my afro? But anyway, I don't think it's you just need to prove them wrong. That's all. Yeah. Prove them wrong, get your money right, be big, and that's it. Yeah.
Yeah, that's basically it. Because even the same thing happened to me. Like, my dad was very, very skeptical. But I think it's not even normally their fault. Like, they don't want you to do it. But they look at the opportunities in the country and they're like, how would you survive of this? That was mainly his main problem. But when he realized, oh, this person is taking care of herself, doing whatever she wants to do on her own, then he kind of relaxed. So I don't think if now maybe my kid sister says, oh, I want to be a musician or I want to be a DJ, he's going to act the same way he acted when I wanted to do it, because he's seen that, okay, this one has done it and it's possible. So it's mostly about, is it safe enough? Because even those who have like 95, it's not looking good. So how much more you, a freelancer? Let's occupy, guys.
So yeah, like I said, people have misconceptions about creatives. They feel like it's not sustainable, but trust me, when I started, and I had to break it down to my mom, especially, that I had to leave school and go work on a radio station, because before then, when I was doing the clubs, I kept it quite low key on my side. But yeah, I realized that they might be listening one day or anything can come up. And even during the competition, I sat her down one day and I was like, look, you've known me. I don't do very well with authority. I like to be on my own and do what I like to do. 9 to 5 is not something I think I want to do. It will not work. In as much as I'm smart for it, it's not something I want to do. I want to go to bed happy, not stressed, knowing that tomorrow I have something to write, email. No. I want to be in control of my life. So she was like, okay, cool. In as much as she doesn't want to be disgraced in the society. I think that's another thing here too. They feel like if you have your own path, you are disgracing them. Like, one time I went to church with, like, not dreads, but like, I don't know how to say, twist. Yeah, like a small twist. I woke up, I had afro on, I woke up, took my bath, rushed out of the house without combing, right? It became a big deal in the church. And my parents are very much known in the church. So, hey, why did you let your son? And I'm like, it means nothing. We like to please people instead of pleasing ourselves. Do you get me? So, aside the misconceptions, these things about parents thinking that it's not sustainable, they fear for you, they feel like, oh, they've been able to hold like a 9 to 5, a clerk job or whatever in some space, and they've made it to the point that they've taken care of you for you to be old. Now you need to take care of yourself, and you say you want to be a DJ. They feel like, nah, it's not the best thing. But me, after 2 years, there was certain pocket money I stopped taking from my parents, and she'll call me like, umbejiskano. I'm like, oh, I'm okay. Like the work I did, they paid me. They're like, oh, they are paying you now. Oh, I say yeah. So when it became good, money start coming in little by little. Where I can, my parents are not about like gadgets. Trust me, they'll use the minimum one that can get them to do their calls. And they look at my phone and I'm like, it's 12,000 cedi. They're like, hey, so you paid all this money to get this phone. Do you get me? But now my question is it your money? Like he said, your best revenge is your paper. Trust me. Is it your money? No, it's not your money. So they have to keep quiet. So yeah, moving forward is just having these things in there and understanding that you can actually do your work well and make your paper from it, and you can prove everybody wrong.
So we'll have one more question and then we'll send it to you guys to ask. So we've all seen what's been happening in the country lately and, over the last couple of years. And when you think about the creative industry and the music industry, does it look promising to you guys? Are you excited? Are you scared? Are you anxious? Think of your future.
Wait, so recently, myself and Maxwell were in London, and trust me, we experienced so many different things and saw like too many things that are not happening here that are thriving there. Trust me, communities are being enhanced out there. Initiatives are being pushed. Startups are being helped. Do you get me? So if you look at it on this level, I feel like we just need a little bit of understanding and a little bit of monetary support.
Just a little.
Just a little. Just a little. Just a little to keep us going. Trust me. But yeah, there's a bright future for what we are doing, and I think the knowledge is also part. And I think one thing that the IMLA sound system is doing is actually bringing people closer to understanding that there's a lot to be done or to get from just even exploring your creative side, and not thinking that you can survive on it. So much to be done. There's a future, trust me. There really is a future. Some of us are also coming up with different ways to explore and make like a living out of what we are doing. And I think once somebody does it, a lot of people follows you. So I've always encouraged like Maxwell for this. I've always been supportive of what this is about and the different ideas that we come up with every day. Trust me, I spend a lot of time with him. We sit down, we talk, and things come up. And we want to push because we've come to understand that things weren't made easy for us. But we are in the position now to make it easy for other people. And trust me, Imula can boast of, I'll say 20 new DJs. We've given DJs that are three weeks old platforms to play. And it's just the encouragement and the vim that it gives them to, oh, okay, I don't need to be a professional or whatever to start this thing, but I'll be given a chance. Before that, nobody was doing that. Do you get me? So with what we are doing, there's definitely future for it. Music industry, whatever. Trust me, most of us are branching into other spaces, which you will find out later, and that's a bright future.
Exclusive.
No, I don't talk about industry.
Well,
Whatever he said, I agree. Yes.
For me, I just feel a bit anxious, which I'm not supposed to, but I know it's going to get better because looking back to 5 or 3 years, or even 2 years ago, and looking at things now, a lot of creators have evolved and become like, people that they aspire to be, and also I feel like helping other creatives, we need to help each other, to grow, because obviously we need to put ourselves on, like how I'm gonna putting other people on. The same way I'm also putting other people on. Other creators also putting other creators on, and that's the only way we are gonna grow. The money is gonna come eventually, So we just need to, like, first of all put God first, and then other things will just follow. So yeah.
Thank you, guys. We're going to ask anyone in the audience, if you have any questions to ask the panelists, now is your time. Do you have any questions?
I have a question. Hello.
Hi.
Hello, guys. Hello, everybody.
Hi.
My name is Maxwell.
Hi, Maxwell.
Okay, so I think a question came up about trying to be professional, and then also your morals, and then kakra on the side, which is waiting for you. Easy money that you can just collect left and right and then run away with. How do we deal with it? I want you guys, I don't know if you guys have more insight, but I want you guys to kind of like tackle that side a little bit for some of us with, let's say, maybe real life stories. You can just, you see how movies, they say the names will be, yeah, exactly, like something small for us.
So, as he said, kakra on the side, I think it's poisonous. Trust me, from almost 10 years in my career, I'll tell you that it's very poisonous, because anybody trying to execute a gig or like an event is trying to cut cost, right? Now, if you go low and take peanuts and play the gig, tomorrow if you come to him and you said he's doing a bigger gig, so he needs to pay you big, that's the value. So to be very honest, the very first encounter you have with any client trying to book you is the most essential, because whatever price you sell yourself to the client in the beginning is what they are going to stick with. Trust me, a few DJs and myself, last year we tried to push them, I don't know if I should say the average rate up a bit, and trust me, some of us lost jobs. Yes, some of us lost jobs in trying to do that, because we sold ourselves cheap in the beginning, and we were in for just the vibes. Do you get me? And down the line now, we realize that, it's taking too much than we are being paid for, and we want to ask for more. And now they are bringing in, but I did this for you, and you're like, you're making it look like my service was nothing, it's zero. Like the service, I wake up, think about a set to play to encourage people, to make them happy, to come there again. Do you get me? And you have seen, because you're not losing or I'm not losing, you feel like it's nothing, because it's not tangible. Do you get me? So I feel like kakra on the side will worry you. Also, think about the future. If the person is going to agree to increase whatever they are paying you now, fine. Like I said earlier, have reference to those conversations. Keep them somewhere that you can refer them to. Me, if you know me very well. I'm about the money. I'm really not about to waste my sleep and come and take peanuts from you. 100%, I'm going to make sure whatever bro, there's been times that I've like had bets with clients, right? I'm like, okay, this is what you want to pay me, right? Now, if I play and your sales go up, you are doubling it. And I've been with bars, I've been with clubs. I know how things run. People get excited and they buy. If they are not excited, they don't buy. Trust me, there's been times people will leave the house and say, I'm spending 10 cedi. We know. By the time you get there, the vibe is off the roof that, let me get another drink. Do you get what I'm saying? So if I'm providing that experience for people that are coming in, I need to benefit from it. And trust me, every time they go on their bed because they feel like, I will not realize, or they overlook it. And we go and I'm like, look at your sales, it's doubled. My money has to double. And I have the reference for it. Do you get me? We always have to understand that the first point of contact or the first client booking is very important. If you sell yourself cheap, there's no way they're coming up. Down here, I don't know about like foreign spaces, but in Ghana, in Accra, I can tell you for a fact, they are only cutting cost.
Yeah.
They have the budget for it, but they want to pay you the cheapest they can pay you. So you need to stand your ground. And sometimes you are scared that you're going to miss the gig or you're going to lose money or whatever. So you're going to just settle. We don't settle for everybody. Look at who is respecting your brand and settle for the person.
Yeah.
But whoever is not respecting your brand, stand your ground and charge what you have to charge. Because if it's better they go away and know that you're an expensive DJ than book you and like get paid less for your talent, GM, or your creativity. Is your question answered?
Are you sure? Like, yeah, basically, just don't give small money chance. But then it doesn't mean that when you start DJing today, you'll be telling me, okay, give me 10K, give me 5K. No, that's not what we mean. But sometimes you look at what you have done. Even me, sometimes I take my time and I go to me now and I send them everything to put in the EPK, but I take time to go through it and then I tell myself, hey, you have worked. Because you've seen what you've done in the period of the time. So it's like, oh, you can pay me, but like look inside for me, because if Ghanaians, like he's saying, if you give them chance, they will pay you the lowest. I'll rather do a gig for 5K and be there the whole month and do nothing than be doing 500 Ghana 10. Because as I'm doing 500 Ghana 10, I'll leave my house 10 times, fuel or Uber. But if I go one and I do the 5K, if I'm sleeping, I have still made my 5K in the end.
And even with that, now tomorrow, if somebody wants to book you, and they ask, "Oh, you booked this person. How much did they take?" They said 5K. Instead of doing that, if you do that, as compared to doing the 500, they call and say, "Oh, how much you pay him?" You say, "I pay him 500." Oh, okay.
And then everyone comes with 500.
Then everybody comes with 500. Trust me, we have this culture where we just want to replicate what somebody has already done.
Yeah.
Do you get me? So when you sell yourself cheap to somebody thinking that, oh, Charlie, this gig there, I want to play, so let me just take it. The next vendor or the next organizer is going to ask that same. Trust me, they are all friends.
They are friends.
They are friends. They are going to ask. I'm even facing that right now, where they had to explain to them that, yo, I'm charging this person this low because it's a consistent gig. Yours is a one-time gig. So it's like, oh, okay, then we'll do it 2 times a month. I was like, bro, unless you are doing the same thing that the person is doing, which is every week, the money is different. Okay, now if you're doing 2 times a week, I have a rate for that too.
Yeah.
A month, I have a rate for that too. Do you get me? They will always communicate. So you need to understand that whatever you put yourself out there, you might think it's just between you and client 1, but it's you and the world. Because client 1 will tell client 2, this is how much I paid him. Oh, my DJ budget is 1,000 cedis. That's what I used to do the gig. And like, oh, Charlie did this big gig with 1,000 cedis. Oh, okay. Then I can do mine with also 1,000 cedis. When they call the DJ and the DJ says taking half of the budget, they're like, but I'm supposed to book like 2 or 3 more DJs. So how are you taking half of the budget? Do you get what I'm saying?
I have a question based on that.
Okay.
I think setting rates as a DJ or anyone in the industry is really difficult, especially when you're new and you have no context and no other friends who are also in the industry. My first question is, do you think DJs need to come together as a collective to, like, as you were saying you did with your friends, to like set like average rates? And 2, are you guys open with being honest about, like, you know, what your own rates are? Like when younger DJs or newer DJs are asking you like, oh, you know, I'm starting out, what should I charge? Are you guys like open to being honest with them?
I don't know, like Ghanaians generally don't like to tell people what they are in, and it's not even just creators, like even 95s, like everyone is trying to keep it close to their chest, so it makes it difficult, because it's like every other year or every year I hear people say, or I go people say, let's try and set the minimum rate at a certain level. But no matter what you do, someone will still go and do the gig. So then it makes it, that's what we're saying, like we need, so one thing I learned staying a month in Europe was, they don't treat nightlife like an afterthought.
Yeah.
It's part of their economy. It's part of the ecosystem. There is a nighttime mayor who is in charge of everything that is happening from 6 p.m. to 6 a.m. the next morning. So you know where to channel your grievances and everything. Like there are different commissions handling everything, DJs, music. So in Accra, you see us, we show up to work with our bags and everything. It's not like that because almost no matter how small the club is, there is a CDJ there. And in Ghana, having a CDJ, I can count the venues that even have CDJs in Accra. Basic controller, we do not have it. So it's like the people who are booking us also need to respect and understand that look, these people are coming here to work. You'll be DJ for 3 hours non-stop, no bathroom break, nothing. And you don't think you should pay me enough. So it makes we coming together to set up the prices to a bit. Like when people ask me what to charge, I tell them just look at your experience, look at what you are giving the clients, and then, but okay, look, using that method to, there's a client that really wants to pay, but then you go to them and say, oh, maybe the budget was 2K, then you go to them and say, oh, I'll take 500 because you don't know. So it's risky, but you win some, you lose some kind of thing.
About coming together to set a minimum or like an average rate, I don't think it's not happened. It's not been able to. We've not been able to do it in the past, and I don't think we will be able to even do it in the future. Like I'll be very honest with you, we won't. They won't come together. Also, there's levels to DJing when it comes to the experience, right? So, if I put out my rate, right, a DJ who is like 2 years or 6 months might not be able to do the same rate. Do you understand? And these venues need to understand that we have to like they do with artists. There's like a class A artist, there's a class B artist, there's a class C artist. So when they are booking, they know, okay, we are booking a headliner for this amount. We are booking a supporting headliner for this amount and those things. But here, I don't know, we lack the structure to implement those things. And trust me, people are thinking about their stomach. A lot of people are thinking about their stomach. Trust me. Like I said, with the weddings, I'll charge, let's say 6K. And they are like, 6,000. Do you get me? And somebody now will now go in and take 1,500. Because the person already has their equipment. I will have to go and rent them. Do you get me? So to the person, when they're charging 1,500, it's just 1,500 coming straight to them. But I'm charging 6K, paying sound for like 3K, and having 3K for myself. What I'm going to wear, my transportation there, my food, everything is going into that 3K. So it's really not going to work. What I would say will work is that, like, let's say club DJs, right? When it comes to those aspects, we can actually set it. But the thing is, these vendors are always looking to cut costs. So, in as much as you can give them a reason to stay with you, the next DJ is willing to take 500 less of what you're taking, 1,000 less of what you're taking. And they will also come and deliver almost as good as you are doing. And they don't care. All they know is, my night is open, there's a DJ there, people are dancing, people are buying. So it makes it very hard. You just have to stay true to yourself and understand what is going on. Me, there are times that if like a new client comes on board and I don't know what their strength is and what they can pay, I play a trick. I'd be like, what is your budget? Oh no, how much? I say, oh no, don't worry. Maybe what my charge will be too much. And now when I keep quiet and I'm able to persuade them to mention their budget, it might be 50% of the time or 60% of the time, it's more than what I wanted to charge. Because some of these people are coming to you knowing that you're a brand and they understand what your value is. For instance, if I had gone to say something less, they will not even book me. Some people will be like, this guy is what he has on his social media, he doesn't even believe in it by like himself. Do you get me? Yeah. So that's another trick I use. I will persuade you to telling me your budget. Then from there we can work with something. But like I said, what me and my friends try to do, manifested later. So now there's a standard rate that DJs charge when it comes to club events for 1 hour?
Standard rate.
Like 1K.
1K everyone. Did you hear that? So you shouldn't accept anything.
No, so
It might not work for
I
them,
might not
though.
work. It might not work for them.
Tell them 8 DJs.
Yeah, it might not work for them. Some of us are even trying to push up. Do you get me? Some of us are really trying to push up because trust me, every day we wake up and the economy is going down. You need more money to do or move around the same way you've been moving 2 years ago. So we are still trying to push it. But trust me, it was really a struggle moving it from 500, 800 to 1,000. I didn't understand it. I'm like, think about it. It makes no sense,
it
bro.
stayed at 500 for
It stayed at 500 for a
fucking
long time.
Like,
Is that like per, what's that?
Per
and
an
they'll
hour.
make you do like maybe 2 or 3
Yes.
hours. That was like way back. You
So
play for
even
3 hours
even
for
with
500
us,
CDs.
one thing we also tried to do was implement the 1 hour set thing.
Yes.
We tried to implement the 1 hour set thing, and in doing that, we made space for other DJs to be booked
play, yeah.
because they know some of them think that I'll book AD for the night, and yeah, AD will come at 12 until the club is done. No, it doesn't work like that. Now, if I'm able to do 1 hour, trust me. When was the holiday? Thursday. Wednesday, I did 3 gigs in a space of 4 hours or 5 hours. I did 3 gigs. I was at front back from 12 to 2, left front back to Mad from 2 to 3, and left Mad to Rave from 3 to 4. Do you get me? Now, in doing that, I've been able to make more money, and also I've created space for other DJs to also play. So if we're together, it would have been very easy. If like everybody, or like let's say all club DJs would come together, it would have been very easy. But now, like even another example, when I'm booking, from back will call and be like, oh, AD, we want to book this guy. We see that you work with this guy. We want to book him. Like it's a young DJ coming up. We want to book him for a gig. And I'm mentioning the amount that I charge to them. Sometimes it's even more than my regular pay from back. What I'm trying to do is, if the person can understand that they can pay that person at that rate for a one-time gig, then it makes my value also go up. Because tomorrow, they know that, AD knows that they are paying this guy this amount of money. Do you get what I'm saying? Now, there are times that I'll go down and I'll try and beat down the price for the DJ, the younger DJ, and later the club will pay the right with the higher one. Because now they realize that, he's actually fighting for the guy, and the guy has come to deliver. So some of these things, but it's not everybody that will do that. Trust me, when I was coming up, there were times that DJs who, like your bigger DJs, will book a gig or help you book a gig, and they will take cuts from it. I don't think it's something that I want to do. Trust me, 500 Ghana off your money is not going to do anything. It's rather even going to like reduce my brand or the respect that I have with my brand. Do you get me?
Does anyone have any more questions to ask? If you can give the mic to this guy and then this guy. The one in the black hoodie and the one in the white hat after.
Yeah, the lights.
It's blinding you.
Hi. So I have a question about branding. So I've always had the opinion that you somehow have to be extroverted to be a creative. So you need to have, you need to be comfortable with you being out there. You need to be comfortable with you being seen, so on and so forth. But for people who aren't necessarily like that, so someone like me, I don't have a problem with being seen, but I would be more comfortable with my brand being separate from my person. So I would much rather be known for what I do than who I am. And I usually don't like mixing the two together.
Yeah.
Do you think it's a viable option for me to stay like that, or do I have to make my brand and my person the same thing?
Okay.
Thank you.
So okay. What you are asking is basically what my whole brand has actually been. The whole plan is to separate my personal from my business. So even recently, I was telling someone that if you follow me just on Snapchat, you have a different idea of who I am. Because on Snapchat, you are getting Michelle. But if you follow me on Instagram or Twitter, it's strictly the Max DJ. Like you don't see nothing. It's just the Max DJ. So you can do that. I think even for me, people think I'm very extroverted, but actually I'm not. Like I am very, very introverted. So that was even one of the reasons for the mask as well. So I wanted to like just be in my own So you can do it. You can separate your business from your personal. I know people who have like business social media accounts and then they have a private one that's just for their personal stuff. So you can do. I actually think that's one of the best things you can do for yourself because it gets overwhelming at times. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Um, yes, like she said, I'm an example. I'm very shy, very shy, but people don't know. Yeah, I'm very shy. What I tell myself when it has to do with DJing is it's about the money, it's about the brand. So now I try my best to put the shyness away. But if you meet me on a regular day, I might pass by you and not even say hi because I'm not that type that wants to even engage. Do you get me? So a lot of people are like that. And the reason why I wanted to speak about this is people go into abusing drugs to solve some of these problems.
Yeah.
There are a lot of creatives that are very shy. They are very introverted. They are very calm. They are to themselves, right? But they have a brand that demands them to be out there and be in the faces of everybody. And they realize that, oh, if I take this substance, I can be cool and actually be entertaining with everybody. But they move into doing it more, and trust me, it will be the point where you fall. A lot of artists are falling based on some of these things. So you have to be careful with it. You have to understand that my only drive is money. So if I have to, yeah, my only drive is money. Trust me, I barely do any drug. So
Barely.
barely, no, because
Barely.
alcohol will,
Okay.
alcohol will count. But I don't do any drug. I don't do any drug. Just alcohol, right? And maybe shisha or something. But yeah, not anything that's detrimental to like my career, not my health, but my career.
Yeah.
But yeah, people tend to enter into these things just to make sure that they can sustain what they have. Me, I tell myself in my head, like I talk to myself very, very much. Like I'll be sitting down quietly, doing my own thing, and you might think that, oh, this guy is not trying to vibe. But I'm vibing with myself in my head. We are like 10 up there, and we are just having a conference. My own is money. Anything that has to do with people, I'll just tell myself, yo, you have to do it. So, and it's paying you. So get up there and do it. So you need to find that force that's going to push you to move from your personality to the brand, right? And also bring you back anytime you want to. If you find yourself in the mix where now it's mixed up, it's going to worry you. And a lot of people are suffering from it. You can use my approach. When it's about the money, fine. I'll jump on stage, regardless of the number of people on stage. Trust me, like I have an experience where I'm very shy. I'm keeping to myself. That's why I even chose radio to start with. Trust me, because radio, I don't have to do with anybody. I'm just in one small booth, just playing music for people to interact on social media or whatever to it. But now, YFM is having area codes, and they say, oh, as part of the exposure and winning, they're introducing me to the crowd, and I have to play a set. And I come up, and this is a show where Shatawale was going to perform, 2014. You can imagine a sensation. Too many people, and it's my first time being on like a big stage, and I come out, I'm like, oh my god, in my head I'm like, oh god, but I'm like, okay, money. And I stood up. 5 minutes, I was done, the introduction was done. I went behind the decks to play. Trust me, the whole time I was like this. I wasn't looking up, but at the end of the day, I delivered. Do you get me? And fast forward, I came to understand that as part of your brand, they need to see you. It's what you are selling. Your face, your appearance, everything is what you are selling. So when it comes to that, it needs to be out there. There are people that they are like celebrities or artists or whatever, that they'll be like, hi, hello, how you doing? Because they have to do it. They have to, when they're the person, they have to like be very engaging. But immediately they are done, they just go back to being themselves. If you study, you see it. A lot of people are like you. So it's very easy to do it. My concern is where you don't mix it up or also not rely on substances to better it.
For me, I'd say you shouldn't allow pressure to like get the best of you. Just be who you are. Let's use Sia, the musician, as an example. Sia has an alter ego.
Yeah.
You know, she claims she doesn't want to be popular, but she still wants to make music. You know, so she has this alter ego which has the hair covering the face. You know, you can create a persona on stage, and then you as a different person altogether as well. You know, so I feel like you just need to understand and then be tactical about it as well before you execute.
Thank you, guys. Should we pass it over to?
Peace, peace. My name is Jabulani. Sorry. Come to this one. Sorry. My name is Jabulani. I'm sure from my accent you could tell I'm not from here, I'm from America. First off, before I ask any question, I just want to thank you guys for coming out, offering education. I've learned so much already. But my question was, and I'd like to ask two, if I'm allowed. My question was, how did you go about not necessarily building your brand, but like finding it in the first place? Like me personally, I'm in a very searching space, not only as a DJ, but just as a creative, as a human being, right? And like you said, like you mentioned before, specifically being a DJ, it's 40% the talent and it's 60% the marketability. So any stories, any lessons that you may have, I'm interested to hear.
What was the second question?
Oh, and the second question, how do you feel about, or I guess in general Ghana, how do you feel Ghana receives foreign artists? And as a foreign artist, how can I better integrate myself into the culture?
The first question was how did you find your brand, and the second
Yeah. So finding your brand. So I believe a brand, right, is like when it comes to personal branding, I feel like it's whatever is within you that you want the world to see. It's whatever is within you that you want the world to see. It doesn't have to be something that is already there or something somebody's doing that you want to do better. It's you. It's your personality, right? There are other factors that come in because it becomes marketable. Now, you need to shy away of certain things. But from the beginning, it has to be you, like what you are about, right? So, I used to enjoy listening to like top radio DJs. This guy's name, Funk Flex. I'm sure you know Funk Flex. I just like the vibe that Funk Flex had. But my personality wouldn't allow me to do something like that. Be on radio and shout and do all those things. But then again, I still had a passion for DJing. I always had Funk Flex at the back of my mind and other DJs at the back of my mind. It doesn't mean that I'm supposed to force myself and do what Funk Flex is doing. But I found my career in myself. Do you get me? I took what I can take from him, took other things, added it to what I'm about, and I made it my brand. So it doesn't have to be anything. It's you. Whatever you want to do. Trust me. I'll give you an example. This guy called iPhone DJ, right? He defined all the odds to do his own thing. Trust me. If you ask me, I'll tell you that it won't work from the beginning. If you ask me, I'm like, because me, I'm a very technical DJ, right? I'll tell you it won't work. But at the end of the day, it worked. Do you get me? It worked. Yeah, I'm technical because who I learned from is like an OG, Killer Fingers. They are about the 10 tables. They are playing like the old school type thing. But moving from that to somebody just having a small device in their palm. Yesterday, I even posted a video on my Instagram where the DJ was talking about the people consuming what you're doing. They don't care about whatever equipment you're using. They don't care how you're playing, what you're playing. They don't care. What they want is the fact that it's making them move and they are happy. Do you get me? So going into technicalities about all those things, it doesn't matter. It's just how best. The focus is not you, but the people, right? But now the people are also consuming your look or whatever is bringing them closer to you. So you just have to find yourself in what you want to do and do it. And make it in a way that people gravitate towards it. It's as simple. And with your second question, yes, this space is very, Ghanaians are very hospitable. They welcome, so far as you make it nice for them to want to jump on, trust me, you're in a safe space. A lot of foreign DJs are here. A lot. Females, males, everybody, like, they're in here and they are having like a good career. I was on radio for 9 years and we had like a French show and it was always occupied by somebody from a French country. Do you get me? So yeah.
So for finding a brand, right, I personally would say it's you, right, and also things that you love, your aesthetics, values. These are the things that make you happy, and it can be a lot of things, and you can also tap into these things, like in your journey of being a creative. You can't put all together at once. As you go, there are so many things that are going to change that you're going to be like, okay, cool, now I love this aesthetic, now I want to just change this aesthetic a bit. I'm going to give you an example, like Jidena. He started being a classic man, but now he's not really a classic man anymore. Do you get my point? So things change. So you finding yourself, or you finding a brand for yourself will also take some time, but you just need to tap into what you love the most, things that you love, and things, aesthetics and values that that resonates with you. So these are some of the things I feel like you just need to tap into to find a good brand for yourself. Well, second question about DJs. Well, I'm not a DJ, but I feel like what he said, Ghanaians are very hospitable and accept people wholeheartedly and warmly. So I don't think there's anything that you need to be jittery about. Yeah. You want to say something?
No.
Okay.
Are there any other questions before we wrap? Yeah. If you just take the mic and stand it.
So this isn't really a question. I just wanted to give my own feedback as to what he said regarding being an international. Sorry if you guys can't hear me. I'm a bit sick. But in terms of being international and being an international creative, I think, as they said, Ghana's very accommodating. But at the same time, with music, there's a lot of synergy and cross. I don't know what to call it, but there's a lot of synergy within what the sounds we have here and the sounds they have outside, because everything started really from Africa. So we have drill outside, we have Asaka here, so you can look into these new genres, these local genres we have here, and bring your international viewpoint and combine it with the stuff you have here, and you'll find success, I think. So that's just what I want to say.
Thank you. Appreciate that. Any last questions? Cool. Well, Shim is going to give us a bit of some tips and a bit of a plan on how to build a brand as someone in the public eye. He'll talk to you a bit about that.
Just a little.
Just a little.
Yeah, because I've already said everything anyway. So
just some takeaways, that they can take home with them.
So first of all, like I said, you need to know who you are and what you love, and these values, because everybody has an aesthetic they love or they resonate with. I work with some celebrities, styling them, so I know what some of them love and what some of them don't like. So you just need to know what you like and what you do not like. You need to. It has to be unique as well. Definitely has to be unique, so that people can actually identify you without even any questions at all. You also need, when it comes to fashion, you can play around. You can play around with fashion when it comes to being an individual, creative, or finding a brand for yourself. Be playful with when it comes to fashion. Pick colors, pick eras in fashion, and then work with it. For instance, you can actually brand yourself in the Roaring 20s, which is the Gatsby eras, right? Just imagine a DJ who comes in with a slick perm and really nice cut suits and all of that, really cool. That's his branding, and everyone is gonna see this person and be like, oh, Is it the guy who wears a suit? Is it the guy who looks like, Leonardo DiCaprio in the Great Gatsby? So just find aesthetics that work with you, and it's gonna be easy for even brands even approach you for certain things. And when you talk about even brands and branding, like brands choosing you for ambassadorial jobs and stuff like that, they actually look at you if it's going to also work with their brand. Some alcohol brands would approach you because you speak to their niche, their clientele. So I'd say you have to, branding is something that you need to sit down yourself to think through, and then people like us who are stylists or creators can also help you build. Do you understand? So just sit back, relax, think about it. Like, what do you love the most? How do you want to look like? How do you want people to perceive you as? What do you want? How do you want to stick in people's minds? How do you want brands to like see you? Where do you want to get to with how you are looking? And I know some of you have certain aesthetics that you want to work with, right? Probably you haven't achieved it yet, but you're still working towards getting that. For me, right, so I wear a lot of pastels, like more like lilac colors, lilac lavender, and it's not something that I like. It was very intentional, but I didn't put in people's faces. I'll just put a picture up wearing an all lilac outfit, or maybe a lilac something in there, and slowly I didn't even know it was actually something that people were like grasping, And then one time we went for dinner, and my friend was like, "Oh, Shim dear, he go pose when he go wear that in violet thing for the corner." So slowly you're gonna it's going to have like an imprint in people's minds that, oh, this is what Shim likes, or this is what this person likes. So even they're going to gift you something, and they have an element of what you like in there. You're going to work with some brands, and the brands are going to tell, "Oh no, I like your aesthetic. I want you to merge your aesthetic with my brand." And that's what some brands tell me to do. They don't let me go strictly by their brand aesthetic. They'll tell you, "Oh, we chose you because you have an aesthetic that we want you to merge with." So some of these things are also very, very vital in like branding. Sometimes you can brand yourself, and like I said before, you're branding yourself subtly, and it's going to be like also subtly developing people's minds, that they see and be like, "Oh no, this guy, he has different colors of like hats. His hats are like top. Is it a top hat, right? Yeah, he's always wearing that. The top hat, yes, exactly. Pharrell does that a lot. Erykah Badu does that a lot. So I feel like these are some of the elements and things that you need to like put together to build a good brand for yourself as an individual. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
Let's have a big round of applause for our panelists. Okay, and they'll still be here around. If you want to ask any questions to them, you can find them and ask them. There's going to be a break before the workshop start, so you can, speak amongst yourself, and you'll get some more information on that. But thank you all for coming, despite the rain and despite everything that's going on. We appreciate it. Class dismissed, everyone.
I don't mind.
Have you seen people
there? Oh, you missed our claps.
There you guys for staying. So let's take 5 minutes. Then we start the DJ workshop.